Welcome back to the first of the worst podcast. I am Brendan Murphy.
And I am Steve Arendis.
It is a once every 2 years. Everyone says every 4 years, but once every 2 years, people pretend to give a shit about things they normally don't care about. And we are in that period right now.
Yeah, the Olympics. Are we allowed to say, like, don't the Olympics, like, claim you're not allowed to talk about them and stuff? Like, weird crap like that? Like, you can't, there's no videos allowed. People aren't allowed to say words. I don't give a shit.
So then so much for a special theme with the NBC Olympic theme and all the horns.
Whatever. The best thing they've done in this Olympics is when they play the NBA and NBC theme music for the basketball games.
But yeah, too bad that gym looks like gives me seizures. Like, why is it lime green? Like, why
can't? It's a cartoon gym. It's like a gym like your stoner friend made when he customized his arena in like NBA 2K in college or something, and like you're like, I can't even look at your screen right now.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's hard to watch.
That's essentially
even like bad American YMCA's. Like the worst you're gonna get is like a Florida Marlins turquoise.
It's so brutal. It's hard to. It looks. I feel like I'm watching handball. Or something like it looks like a different sport almost because of the court color.
Yeah.
Well, if you haven't noticed, me and Brendan might not like the Olympics a lot. And to be fair, like I feel like a lot of people don't like it. But
no, I don't think this is like a hot take. Dudes who like real sports don't like the Olympics.
No. But instead of our normal thing, so normally we would just list our 10 favorite things about the Olympics here. But my dad used to have a saying. It probably still does. He used to say it all the time. If you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. So we're gonna be part of the solution this week, and we're gonna give our 10 best fixes for the Olympics.
Our 10 best fixes, yes.
We're gonna save the Olympics, guys. It has worse ratings than the opening ceremonies, like in 40 years. Ratings are down. NBC's going under. We're saving the Olympics.
I was with a buddy and they were on in a bar, and that was the most fun I've had watching them because it's such a tune in, tune out thing.
Oh, the opening ceremonies? Yeah. You just like comment on like ridiculous outfits and if there's like any like attractive people.
I remember when Iraq came out with like 7 Olympians, and I was like, was it worth it?
Didn't they
seven goddamn Olympians?
They had more than 7. They have a whole soccer team. They just tied Brazil.
Did they? So it was worth it.
It was worth it. Everybody at Brazil seems to get murdered if they don't advance. So let's just get into it.
So these are all over the board. Olympic fixes.
Fixes could be different sport changes, ideas for how you're good. I have ideas for how it should be on TV, different things you could do. Just anything you can think of that would make the Olympics more entertaining is kind of where I went with this.
I'm with you.
Go for it.
Okay, so some of the mine are actually operational too, because
some of mine maybe aren't.
This is an easy one, but I need better graphics. Like when I'm watching a swimming race, like just highlight Michael Phelps' lane the whole time. Like don't leave room for confusion.
Yeah, I like what they've done with like the world record line actually on the screen this year. Where there's like a little line they're chasing. But yes, you're right. Like put like just literally, I want like a floating American flag under his lane.
Yeah, that's what I need. Yeah,
doesn't seem that tough. It doesn't seem that tough.
I need better graphics. Like I look at how horse racing does it. I mean, that seems like a nice inspiration.
Yeah, I like it. Also,
it. Even the basketball, no shot clock.
Yeah, it's not on the screen. You have no clue.
Why is there no shot clock on the screen?
You have no clue what's going on.
NBC actually also bring over like the NBA and NBC overlay from 1993. Because it's like a weird incremental time. I don't know. Is it 30 seconds? Like I have no idea.
I don't know what the rules even are. Yeah.
So I need a shot clock to have some concept of what is going on in the world.
All right. So my number 10, I really thought was going to be higher, and then I backed off because I thought of something I didn't like about this idea, but I still think it's a good idea, so it's getting to number 10 on my list. They're never going to do this ever. And it's get rid of silver and bronze medals.
Oh. I heard a US loser yesterday.
Oh
all I wanted to do was medal, and I was like, get out of here.
That Corey Miller guy.
No, it was actually a woman who had just. Had
there was a
baby
swimmer that just made me want to vomit when he was celebrating his bronze medal so hard. Like a real athlete, that's like somebody hits a game-winning shot against you in the finals, the NBA finals, and you like celebrate because you came in second.
Yeah, it's not for me. The celebrating.
So, but my issue was because I don't want to celebrate these people winning silvers and bronzes. But then I'm like, every once in a while, though, I do like the idea of the loser having to stand right next to the winner and watch his flag get raised in the air and then play his national anthem. I like that. So that's why I dropped it down to 10. There's
no room for this type of sentiment around here, but it is kind of nice when like some country that like never wins anything gets a bronze medal.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
It doesn't really work for Americans.
You're right. I agree.
Like that is not culturally permissible.
This is not on my list.
At your disposal.
Nothing pisses me off more than when I see like a medal count, and it's like, and this is like an American move. This doesn't apply to America in the Summer Olympics because we win every medal, but in the Winter Olympics, it'll be like America's winning the medal count, but we have like 100 bronze medals. And like some other country has way more gold medals, like Norway has more gold medals than us. I'm like, we're not really winning. We're just like good at coming in third.
It needs to be a point system, yeah. Like some sort of kind of NHL based point system.
Yeah, something like that.
Bronze medal's like a win in overtime.
All right. Here's my number 9. This one's pretty simple. Wouldn't really be that expensive. Maybe I don't know if they do it, but they really should. Open bar for the Olympians at the opening and closing ceremony.
Oh. If they don't, they should. You're right.
It'd be great. Now, there's a little gamble. Maybe closing ceremonies will probably be more fun. There's probably these guys are fine.
I think they're all hammered at the closing ceremonies.
But opening ceremonies, there's going to be some people that take it a little too far. And then it'll be like 2 days later, they're going to be a little rough. Yeah. It'll be a good subplots.
No, your best case scenario as an athlete is to be done at like day 4, and then just have like a 11-day vacation in whatever exotic location it is.
Yeah, you want like the first day, like the first medal. Handed out, that to be the only thing you're in. That you just party for 2 weeks. It's great. All right. What's your number 9?
My number 9, and this is totally operational, but this is so logical that it doesn't happen. And I don't know. I originally wrote the IOC pays off all debt of the host city. Maybe that's not possible, but the IOC makes an extremely large amount of money off of the Olympics, and the host cities go broke. So that only seems fair.
Pay them back. But that's not how corrupt organizations work.
I know. Or maybe I should have just said the IOC's dissolved.
I have something that's similar to this later on. But it's not the same, but it's along the same line. I'll get to it later on. But that's definitely something of that nature should happen. So what's your 8?
My number 8 is this I took from the NBA All-Star Weekend, and I don't know. I mean, it's celebrity coaches.
I thought you were gonna say Sting sings halftime of every game, because that happened.
They would gladly take him in the opening ceremonies, though.
Oh yeah, yeah. Celebrity coaches, I like it.
I mean, Kevin Hart should be on Team USA's bench, if nothing else, for basketball.
There's no reason he can't be on Team USA for basketball. There's no reason. They'd still win, and if they lose, they still shouldn't lose. Actually, so. You should never.
If they lose, they're not citizens.
That's a great rule for the Olympics, by the way.
Yeah, well, for certain
they have to play for the refugee team the next Olympics.
If you are on the U.S. men's or women's basketball team, the two most dominant teams, arguably in any sport in the world, and no one talks about it, but the women's team is way better than the men's team.
Oh, way better, actually.
Like, they have not had a game within like 30 points since like 1996.
Yeah. But then, do they get worse team players?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I would say that we don't really have our A team. We have like I don't know.
We have like a B+ team or something, I think.
I mean, any team LeBron's not on, I'm not going to call the A team.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So we're on my number 8. Okay, this is where I'm going to get a little weirder. I think swimming is wrong in the Olympics. It's I have so many problems with swimming in the Olympics. First off, there should only be freestyle. No butterfly. Like, butterfly is not a real thing.
All right. So here's what I thought freestyle was until yesterday, because I'm an idiot. I thought it was you could do whatever stroke you liked.
It is, isn't it?
No, it's just the front. It's just what we learned. Like the first, it's just.
Then why don't they call it front crawl?
Forward crawl or whatever is what freestyle is.
whatever. That's bogus. You should be able to do whatever you want. Fastest across. I don't care how you do it.
My girlfriend was like, "This isn't rap. This is swimming," and I was like, "Well, that's
No, actually,
that's still stupid."
I'm not gonna lie. I think you can do whatever you want. And I'm standing by that. I have nothing to back that up except for my thoughts.
It's logical.
But okay, but like, let's not screw the swimmers over. There's a lot of swimmers, mostly just in America. This is like where like we just pad our stats in swimming. Like that's what America does in the Olympics. That's why there's all these like different strokes that we made up and shit. But also, like, why is like swimming judged on people swimming back and forth and spinning and pushing off walls? Like that's not what swimming really is. So like I think they should make like a circular track, like a swimming track, but it's water. And you swim in circles with no lanes. And it's just that's how you judge how fast people are. Because there's turning then. Like you have to turn when you swim in the water.
Or you could just have like a 400-meter pool.
Yeah, something like that.
It would just be a straight line.
This is essentially these people are like the best at pushing off of walls and spinning underwater and pretty good at swimming.
We just won 2 more, I think, in swimming during this little diatribe of yours.
I know. Sorry, it's probably anti-American of me to bash swimming because that's how we pad our medal stats.
It does seem like, okay, so every country, every time it's us versus someone, it's never the same country in swimming.
No, it's here's what I literally saw this stat like over like I don't remember how many years it was over. America's won like 130 swimming medals. The next highest country is Australia with like 20 some, and then Michael Phelps has more medals than any other country. Michael Phelps has like over Michael Phelps' swimming career. He has more medals than any country besides Australia.
What do you think Michael Phelps does with his bronze medals?
Like turns them into bongs.
I mean, I don't know.
How about that guy? Like he literally like competes in like the sport where like your lungs matter the most, and he's just like ripping bongs all the time and just laughing at all these people who probably don't do anything.
I've had a very unpopular Michael Phelps hot take this Olympics.
What?
To be this good for this long, he's cheating. He's got to be.
Yeah, he's cheating. He's cheating. I mean, there's no way he's not cheating.
It's not like a Lance Armstrong situation where there's like a decent amount of proof and America's denial. There is none of that yet.
Yeah.
That said, our media doesn't really seek it out.
No, we don't look for it. It's all good. So then my number 7 is along the lines of your when you said you were having the IOC pay back the city. Mine was, how about just have the Olympics in like one of like the few cities that could actually host the Olympics without going into debt? Like LA. Like they have all the
cities
stuff
that have the infrastructure already there.
Yeah, like
it's
why don't
especially ridiculous for the Winter Olympics where they're in like smaller kind of remote cities.
Yeah.
Like at least, I mean, obviously Rio hasn't gone so well, but it's a major world city.
Yeah, but so was like Athens, and that was a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I don't.
Like there's only if you have the infrastructure, just do it that way. It's not that hard. I mean, obviously you might have to build a couple things, but like if you have to build everything, it's a problem.
You should. I mean, the IOC should be paying for this shit. One of the things that didn't make my list was just have it on a rotation like Super Bowls.
That's similar to my idea, actually. When you get down to it, there's always.
And I was like, well, maybe it could be like a. Then I was like, well, maybe it could be like a continental rotation. So like every continent gets one. And I was like, this is getting too complicated.
This is the first one in South America. This is the first one in South America.
So then I would guess Africa hasn't had one.
I don't think so. Yeah. I don't think so. So what is your 7?
My number 7 is a like when ESPN does huge football games, they have like an extra channel where you can turn away and like listen to coaches talk. I think it should be like comedians and pop culture people.
Yeah, into it.
Have fun. The problem with the Olympics, a big problem with them, and this is particularly true of just the way they're broadcasted, they take themselves so seriously. Like, have fun with it.
Okay. And then, yeah, you have to have the stupid sappy story about every athlete.
Oh, I didn't really know how to phrase that in terms of like the way I would change things, but I would definitely do less human interest in the coverage.
Yeah. So the same clown yesterday who like freaked out for winning a bronze medal, his name was like Corey Miller or something. He has some like fake disorder. Now somebody's gonna hear this and he has probably a serious disorder. But basically he has a dent in his chest. I know multiple guys who have
a shitload of people that have that.
It's not everybody 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 knows. Every guy has been
Like
in the
a
locker room.
skinny dude.
Has seen the dude with the dent in his chest, and they're always like in good shape.
Yeah, they're always super skinny. They are always
Like-
super skinny.
But he's not like dying. Don't like sell me this as like some weird disorder that's uncommon. Like I know multiple people. I've had roommates that have that. It's not a big deal. It's like they're really fishing for stuff. All right, I don't even know what number.
Americans have it pretty good. So like,
Yeah, I don't even know what number we're on right now.
we're on my 7. So I
Okay.
said like a mystery science theater type channel.
Okay, loved it. Yeah. Okay.
I also think that Ricky Gervais should be involved in this coverage somehow.
Oh,
I think
All
he's
day.
like, so well made for it.
it's
I
also
don't,
great
like,
because
love Ricky Gervais. I mean, who doesn't like him? But like, it's not like one of the people that I have a particular affinity for.
I love
but
him hosting like an award show, and this is along the same lines.
He's also international.
Well, it's even better because he won't be afraid to take shots at Americans.
Yeah, that is important.
So what's your number 6?
This is my list is basketball centric, but this one, if you could think of other sports where it applies,
Okay.
please do add it. But U.S. basketball teams have to play against the point spread each game.
Against the spread.
Against the spread, or however you want to handicap it. The spread was my initial thought.
There's probably other sports with other countries that we're not even as familiar with that like some other countries just like win every single year. Like I feel like the Chinese invented synchronized diving just to pad some stats, like how we invent sports, and they were like, "Yo, you guys, you're giving America all this stuff. Give us synchronized diving. We're just gonna win all these."
Yeah, but even like ping pong, there's several Asian countries that are really good at it.
Oh yeah, I know. It's like, ping pong is I'll watch that for a good 5 minutes. It's an interesting.
Also, individualized sport, different than team sport.
Yeah, it is different than team sport. Yeah, it's not like a thing where you can stack it up. Yeah. Okay, so then on to my number 6.
Right into your number 6. Yeah.
Okay, this is more from like a TV perspective type thing. I think the Olympic Village should be wired up like the Big Brother house.
I was trying to think of something along those lines that didn't feel pervy.
And well, maybe so. There's a second part of this, and maybe it's just that TMZ has full access to the Olympic Village.
Okay, this actually plays into something I have much higher on my list, so I'm not going to go into too much detail.
Okay,
But that actually, that might be a good anecdote to how I could solve the problem I had with my.
okay, cool. I just want I want to know what's going on in the Olympic Village. I know it's just
Village is the most
but I don't.
is the most interesting part of the whole Olympics, and no one knows what's going on there.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on. I want details. I want who's canoodling with who. I don't understand why this isn't happening, but whatever. So you'll have something along these lines we could talk about a little more later.
Yeah, I mean it's very much along these
Okay.
lines.
All right. Number 5. Give Bob Costas pink eye again.
It's not his fault that the coverage is so bad.
But wasn't it more? It's not his fault. I agree. But wasn't it more fun when Bob Costas had pink eye?
I mean, I'm saying this and I haven't really watched much Olympics, so I can't really.
It was the most fun thing about those Olympics was the Bob Costas pink eye. So he can at least do a fake pink eye with makeup and act it up.
Was that Sochi?
I think it was a Summer Olympic. It might have been, I don't even know. London? My wife totally forgot the London Olympics happened. She was like very certain the last ones were in China.
That's how memorable they are. Unless like Hitler's there or a bomb goes off, you're like, oh, that's where they were.
Well, I have an idea along those lines too. We'll get to that later.
By the way, never put an Olympics in Germany. When does it end well?
Never. It's a great point. It's a great point. So what's your number 5?
Number 5 is winner of the overall medal count, and we can debate how
Okay, point system, but yeah.
how that works. Gets to pick where the next games take place.
Ooh, do you get to like pick what sports are in it too? Is it like the America's Cup? Where you can
I didn't
just
go that deep, but I liked that because you could be like, okay, so U.S. is gonna win because they always do. So we could be like, we're gonna have it in L.A., or we could be like, we're gonna have it in like Peking just to fuck you, China. Stop devaluing our currency.
We're gonna put it on some country we want to screw over.
Yeah, we're gonna use it as like as a white elephant on your economy for 2 decades.
I like it. I like that. I like the winner getting to be able to change things in the Olympics and having more power. I like the idea of this. I think there's a lot you can do. You should be able to eliminate a sport. Winners should be able to eliminate and add a sport of their choice. Just one. Let's not go crazy. Just one. Add and eliminate. We're already doing that all the time anyway. They're already adding sports in. Like baseball goes away and comes back like every 4 years.
It sucks. It should be gone.
It's coming back in the next Olympics again.
It should be gone forever.
It's
You know
coming
what?
back.
I actually thought of something I'd rather have than baseball. Celebrity softball.
Oh yeah, I'd be way more into like celebrity softball. You have to make some kind of rule for like what constitutes a celebrity in your country. They have to be famous in America. That's going to be the rule.
The Hollywood panel judges if you're a celebrity or not.
Okay, fair enough. The ghost of Joan Rivers. So that was your number 5.
Mm-hmm.
So then what do you got for 4?
Event admission is free.
Love it.
I don't know how you'd allocate it. There should be a lottery system, but like the host country should get most of the tickets.
Yeah, sounds great. And yeah, it should be free.
They didn't sell so many tickets this time because who locally can afford $150 of fucking in a tanking economy to go see equestrian shit? I don't even know what you would call that. Horse riding.
There's all kinds of different kinds of equestrian. They all suck. Though I did watch some of one today where these horses kept like getting scared and like not jumping over this one thing. So that was kind of entertaining. Also, horses, I don't think the rider should get the medal. The horse should. So that's just my own take on the horse stuff. And if that's the case, we should start having other animals in the Olympics.
We got awesome horses here. I gotta say.
We do have good horses. So I'm on my number 4?
You're on your number 4.
Okay. This one takes a little more time to explain, but I think it's actually something that should happen. So I'm going to say what I call it first. I want to get rid of country participant limits. So the Olympics is about having the best athletes compete, right? And literally, I think it was yesterday, we're recording this on Monday, the U.S., the women's gymnastics did their preliminary rounds, and apparently only 2 women from each country can participate for gymnastics overall. But the top 3 who finished in the preliminaries were all Americans. So Gabby Douglas, who finished 3rd out of every single person in the Olympics and is the defending gold medal winner, can't compete.
That's terrible.
And along the same lines, you want to make basketball more interesting? 3 American Olympic teams from the U.S.
It'll be like when you had a traveling team and the 7th graders and the 8th graders got in the same bracket, and you're like, oh, well, maybe Oak Park will go to the finals.
There's multiple beach volleyball teams from each country.
There's
multiple bobsled teams.
A lot of individual sports have multiples. You'll see 2 or 3 Asians in like the ping pong fight. Like China has definitely been in the gold medal game in ping pong table tennis.
Yeah, and
I don't know if they have that same 2 limit where China can't have a 3rd guy in there or something.
Yeah, I always like it in the Winter Olympics when the bobsledders go and it's like, oh, Germany 2's beating Germany 1. Like they fucked that up somehow, or something like that.
Germany team has like shittier uniforms.
Yeah, they don't have any sponsors. Yeah, like a rusty bobsled that they're going down the hill in. Yeah. I think, it would make the basketball more entertaining. And you know what? The rest of the country, cry. If you can't beat USA 3, that's on you.
They couldn't for basketball. I'll tell you that right now.
At least not in women's. I think we've sent USA 3 before. They didn't win.
You're right. But like now if they gave a shit. Okay, if we sent three USA teams, that USA 3 team would be pumped.
Oh, yeah, because they'd all be playing each other, too. That's the thing.
Yeah. It would just be the playoffs. Actually, I'm in favor of this.
It's awesome. It's a great idea. So it'd be like 3 USA teams. I don't even know what other countries we get to.
No, none.
I don't think anybody's good enough. No.
There'd be like 9 USA teams in France.
France, Australia, and Spain. That's the tournament. Maybe Serbia.
The debate
Maybe
used to
like all those like Serbia, Croatia, and Lithuania could put their
if
problems
the
aside.
USSR didn't fold, they would have still remained a formidable competitor, I would say.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that later.
Okay.
So, what is your? Oh, I'm on my number 3, right?
Are you on your number 3?
Yeah. So this is I call this fix the combat sports. I'm not a MMA guy, as we've talked about before. I think neither of us really care for UFC, but let's just get rid of all this wrestling and judo and taekwondo crap and just mix it into one thing and let them fight. And just let them be MMA. I'm not into MMA, but I think I'd be pretty into it if I was supporting my country and it was just 2 dudes fighting.
I had tried to figure out a way, just in general, how to include like our worst enemies in our best sports. Like if ISIS got a basketball team, that would make me happy.
Well, I was wondering. I mean,
I also don't really know how ISIS fits into the Olympics since they're their own self-proclaimed country.
It's a great point. It's a great point. And if ISIS was in the Olympics, it'd be a lot more interesting.
I gotta agree.
Actually, to be fair, that should be the number 1 on both of our lists. This is let ISIS compete.
Let ISIS compete.
If ISIS is in the Olympics, could you imagine the booing? Like what would happen when like they saw a woman while they were competing? Would they freak out?
Yeah, that is why it would be problematic. I don't think anyone's really going to be that eager to send their daughter to the ISIS Olympics.
Well, they don't have females, right? Am I incorrect in thinking that ISIS is a giant homosexual organization with only men? Like, there's no women in ISIS. Am I wrong?
But they take over territory.
I don't know. I just think there's no women in ISIS. There's only one way to explain that, which is fine. I have many problems
there is no women in the army.
I have many problems with ISIS, but them being homosexuals is not one of the problems I have with them. That said,
they have a problem with themselves.
That explains a lot.
It does explain a lot.
All right. What's your number 3?
Fan judging.
Oh, do we get to like, is it like we judge the whole thing or is it like
one of the judges is the aggregate of all the fan texting and online scoring?
This would totally help like China and like the Asian countries where like they would have like 1 million votes somehow.
Fine.
I'm in for it though.
It might actually make the difference in gymnastics because China's pretty good.
Yeah, it would be tough. I like it though, but they could just get eliminated if they always like cross out the top and bottom scores and stuff. I think. I still like it though.
All right, well then we need to have them fan voting be exempt from that. It needs to always count.
I like the idea of fan voting. I mean, the voting is also subjective anyway.
Exactly, and no one understands how shit's supposed to go. So just who did it the best?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I hope this isn't on your list, but I would love if they just brought back scoring out of 10. It wasn't on my list.
Oh, that's too rational. That's too rational. I actually didn't even realize it wasn't out of 10. So
no, it's like just like equations where it's like it is. It's like an equation. Like how difficult the trick is like a multiplier, and then they multiply it times like whatever your score is or something.
That's ridiculous.
All right, what's your number 2?
Allow doping.
It's a good idea. I don't know. I thought about this one. I feel like there should just be separate categories.
So like actual asterisks.
Yeah, but it's not an asterisk. It's just a different category. Different event. Steroid 100-meter. Then I guess, though, what's stopping them from running in the regular run? Allowed doping is an interesting one.
Well, the school of thought is that people are getting by having doped anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, the world just hates Russia right now, so we're totally fucking them. But I mean, there are a bunch of Americans who've gotten convicted of doping who are running in this Olympics.
Oh, there's like this Russian swimmer chick who's like been like multiple ones, and they got let swimming is like the day before. Like, yeah, you could swim. It's cool. She's like, okay, I'll do it. It's great. But the thing is, if you allow doping, then you don't get to accuse people of being like dopers anymore, which is like kind of fun. It's kind of fun to just throw like steroid accusations around.
Yeah, I mean, it takes away so many good jokes too. Like, how many gold medals do you have to give back to East Germany?
Quite a few. Who do you give
Quite a
those to?
few.
Who do you give those to?
Yeah, who do you even give those to?
It's a great question.
You're just gonna ship them to the Kremlin and be like, "These are kind of yours."
Kind of yours.
Kind of
yeah.
yours.
So was that your number 2?
It's my number 2.
All right. My number 2 is very simple. There was rumors of it being added to the Olympics. Kind of fell through. It's 3-on-3 basketball.
Oh, I'm into that.
3-on-3 basketball. The rumors were because like you could get like more countries involved, kind of into international basketball. It's easier to find 3 guys or 4 guys. However, you probably bring 4 guys for a 3-on-3 team. It's easier to find 4 guys than to find 12 to compete. And that way, you would totally get USA 1 and USA 2 in that situation.
Well, also, like, it's possible that the Americans wouldn't be the best at that because
you could. Oh yeah, you could.
We got like weird cohesion issues,
and it'd be like, and it's half court. It's like a different game. It's a slightly different game, right? Though in my head, I also want them to call their own fouls and stuff.
Yeah, how would you do that with fouling out?
I don't know. But you can get some good teams. I think it would be fun.
First, too, because people wouldn't know.
Is it outdoor? Do you do it outdoor? Is it an outdoor game?
Absolutely.
I think it has to be an outdoor game.
It just has to be at Rucker Park no matter where the other Olympics is.
Just bring it to Rucker Park every time. Yeah. Half court 3-on-3 basketball. I don't understand. That seems like a no-brainer.
Well, there also is this idea that is an event only for amateurs.
Maybe. Yeah. Guess what? Here's the thing, though. They have regular volleyball and beach volleyball. It's the exact same thing.
You're right. I mean, I'm totally on board.
I actually don't. I haven't told this idea. I've told this idea to people. First of all, I didn't come up with this idea. I read it somewhere. Second off, nobody thinks it's a bad idea, so it should happen. All right, number 1.
FIBA probably thinks it's a bad idea.
FIBA would need to be involved. Number 1, I've danced around this. It's bring back the Soviet Union. It's if you want to make the Olympics more fun, you bring back the USSR. I want USSR written on the back. Or that's not actually what was on the back of it. What was actually on the back of it? Like CCCP. That's how you do it in like.
But
Russian.
It was their letters.
Yeah, CCCP, not USSR. It was CCCP in like their letters or something, right? Yeah, and it was awesome. And the big bad guys in the room. Yeah, that's. But I guess maybe the ISIS idea maybe trumps that.
Yeah, but they're gonna suck.
Yeah, that's the problem. You're right. No, that's a valid point. ISIS isn't gonna be good. What are they gonna be good at? Driving pickup trucks?
How many Olympians are from Syria in this Olympics? Probably not very many.
No, and I don't think that they're organized. I don't think they're organized. Yeah, the Soviet Union, though, they want to win.
Oh, they were super organized. They still are. They're just smaller.
Yeah, if you add like all the people from like the other countries together and you like Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan and any country.
Hey, they're trying their damnedest to get Ukraine back.
Yeah. I mean, we're on the way. Watch out, 2020. And that Soviet national anthem was just horrifying.
I don't know it.
It's horrifying. YouTube it at some point. They did a great job.
It's got to be pretty new, right?
I think it's really long too. I think it's really long. That's the other thing. If you get a really long national anthem, it really rubs it in like the second place guy's face.
How do they know at what speed to raise the flags? I wonder.
I don't know. I actually think that some of them get edited because I think there are ones that are like 12 minutes long and they're just like we're not playing a 12-minute long national anthem. But yeah, bring back Soviet Union. I think that, I mean, it might not be good for society, but like for the Olympics, I'm only talking about the Olympics here. That's what we should do. So what is your number one?
It's a two-parter. We get to know which athletes hook up.
Mm-hmm.
And the Olympic Village is a sovereign nation that moves. So any child that's conceived in the Olympic Village has to compete for the Olympic Village in future Olympics.
Oh, and no condoms.
Oh, no condoms will be a part 3.
So the Olympic Village is its own nation of superhumans?
Yes, but no one's from there unless they're conceived there. You get what I'm saying?
What if you can't marry into being part of?
Okay, that I will allow, but you can't like defect to the Olympic Village like a Cuban.
Okay, let's just get more into this. Let's say a man marries two Olympians have a daughter. She is now part of this nation.
Potentially the first citizen.
First citizen.
So she's the president of the Olympic Village nation.
She's also potentially an amazing athlete. Let's say she then marries a man who's not part of this nation.
Okay, you can marry into it.
Is the kid part of the nation?
I'm going to say yes because we need to do some nation building.
Now, what happens when ISIS attacks this nation? Do they get the competitors from this nation?
Well, I mean, the Olympic Village would have to be part of NATO, I would guess. So the Olympic Village's allies would come to its defense.
Or they're just really good at defending themselves because they have all these like Taekwondo guys.
Also, they're totally malleable.
they
can just move.
They're a mobile nation.
And they're sovereign. So like,
are they going to be like
on one of the Village just sets up in the middle of downtown Chicago, they own it.
Is it good, or could it be like one of those like tech guys? You know how those tech guys have these like crazy like libertarian like insane ideas to build like a floating country? Maybe it'll be like that. And the Olympians can live on this floating country that floats, it's man-made country that floats around the world. Isn't there a man-made country off the coast of England that used to be like an oil rig and this guy took it over and now it's a country that like 20 people live on?
Ireland? I'm not familiar with that.
No, man, there's legit a man-made country. I'm not even lying. Man-made island country. I'm Googling it right now. England. It's not England. They had defended themselves in a war.
It's probably invaded by America.
It's called Sealand.
If it has oil.
It's called Sealand. Yeah, its whole land is Ruff's Tower, an offshore platform in the North Sea.
Okay.
Oh man, they don't have an Olympic team though. I don't think. I don't know what they'd be good at. Maybe swimming.
I mean, potentially a lot of water sports.
Yeah, I don't think that many people live there. They have a football team though. I mean, that's not American football, but they have a football team. It's basically this family. So if you guys want to read up on Sealand and starting your own country for Olympic athletes, that's it. Yeah, I think we had some good ideas here.
We will consult Dick Ebersol over at NBC Sports.
Yeah.
Is he still there?
I don't know. I think Bob Costas could get us who we need. Even like Matt Lauer or anybody on the Today Show, probably.
I mean, Hoda. Hoda could probably.
Yeah, Hoda's there. She can help us. And so is Jenna Bush. I saw her feeling up some guy from Tonga earlier today, so that was weird. I think she's married and has kids. But yeah, so that's what's going on at the Olympics. Thanks everybody for listening. And yeah, you should like us on Facebook and follow us on Facebook and share it with your friends. All that good stuff. You should, you know what? Like our Twitter account basically doesn't operate, so you should just follow me and Brendan if you need more updates on stuff. He is at shy_Murph. Shy is in CHI. And I am at Stevesy, STEVESY. S-E-Y. I don't even know how to spell it, but that's something like that. Yes. So yeah. Thanks everybody for listening, and we'll talk to you later.